Hello everybody. We're going to do as I promised, neck bones. I've had a lot of requests to cook these neck bones, so we're going to get started. First of all, I need some cold water. And I've got, what is it, 2 pounds, basically 2 pounds of neck bone here. Most recipes call for 4 pounds. I don't need that many neck bones, so. Go ahead and put this in the pot. But really, there's nothing to get off of them. I think it's already, membranes and stuff like that's already off. So we're just going to wash them, rinse them off, put them in the pot. And we're going to put, I think it's, oh, let's see, about 4 cups of water in there. Just well start with hot water, I guess. Won't hurt. If you've got 4 pounds of neck bones, you're going to put 8 cups of water. I've only got 2 pounds, so I'm putting 4 cups. Or about that much. It doesn't really matter that. You don't have to be exact. But what we're going to do is boil these for a few minutes. Get them to a boil and boil them for bring them to a boil over high heat. They should foam up a little bit. And once that happens, we're going to drain them. Yeah, we're just going to drain them and then set them aside in the pot, and we'll get on to the next step. So while they're coming to a boil, I'm going to pause the video. And I'll come back with you as soon as they're boiled and we take them out and set them aside and get busy with the rest of it. Okay, I'm back. My neck bones have been boiling. I'm going to rinse them off. And what I'm going to do is just pour them in the colander over here in the sink. In the meantime, I'm gonna, well, we'll rinse them off a little. And we'll see if any of this stuff needs to come off. I guess that's good. Now, it's been ages and ages since I've cooked neck bones. I mean, many, many years. But we're going to get these cooked because it was requested. I don't do many requests, but I'm doing this one. Now, I'm going to put a couple of tablespoons of olive oil in my pan, my pot. I'm going to get it hot again. I'm also going to put on some rice. Find my pot. That way my rice will be cooking. Well, if I can find my rice down in here. Oh. Well, maybe I'll move the rice over here to the other side. But we've got one onion. When your oil gets hot, put your onion in there, sliced thin, pretty thin. I got the camera in the way. Yeah, I moved my rice, y'all. I put it over on the other side. That's one reason I hate moving stuff. I hate cleaning because I end up moving things and then I can't find anything. But we all know pretty much how to cook rice, don't we? I'm just going to put one cup of rice. I'm going to add 2 cups of water. Put that down in here for right now. Then add 2 cups of water. And I'm going to put that on this back burner to cook. We'll bring it to a boil, and then I'll turn it down like normal. Bring it to a boil, and then turn it down and let it simmer for about 15-20 minutes until your rice is done. Just a regular pot of rice, y'all. Turn that down a little bit. And I like to put a little bit of butter in my rice when it's cooking. So I'm going to add probably about a tablespoon of butter to my rice. You want to brown those onions good. And I guess you can't see it over there. I'm just browning my onions. I mean, this is an old-timey dish here. I mean, people many years ago ate neck bones all the time. I remember when I was little growing up, we ate neck bones occasionally. Didn't have them all the time, but we did have neck bones. Guess I could turn that back up a little. In the deep south and in southern Appalachia, I'm sure this was a pretty popular dish. Neck bones and rice, because you make your gravy with your, you make your gravy in it, so it's real good to serve on rice or potatoes. Let's see. I want y'all to, I don't like for my head to be cut off, but I like for y'all to be able to see what I'm doing too. But you want your onions good and brown. You don't want to burn them. That's the reason I kept adjusting the heat. And I'm using my fork, but I'm trying not to scratch the pot, y'all. I need my spatula. But they're starting to get a golden brown, and that's what we want. See how they're getting brown? I guess I could move it up a little closer so you can see. Now this recipe does call for mushrooms. I refrained from the mushrooms because I'm allergic. So I got, and it does call for a package of onions, dried onion soup. So I got the onion mushroom, which I can eat a little bit of that. It's not going to bother me. But y'all can put about a half a cup of sliced mushrooms in there if you'd like. Let's see what it calls for the full recipe. One cup of mushrooms, sliced mushrooms. That's for the full recipe. I'm only doing half of it, so I would put a half a cup of mushrooms. That's the sliced ones. But like I said, I didn't buy any. I didn't want to buy a big package of mushrooms just to get a half a cup, because I knew I wouldn't eat them. So there's my onions browned. I'm going to put my neck bones back in. Garlic, seasoning, salt, and black pepper. At this point, we're going to put in about a tablespoon of garlic, crushed garlic. We're going to put in salt and pepper. That's black pepper. And then we're going to add about 5 cups of water. If you're cooking a whole recipe, you use 10 cups. I'm not cooking a whole recipe, so. Don't have that big a pot either. I mean, I do, but I don't want to cook that many. Heaven help me if I cook that many. Now we're going to bring that to a boil and cook it for about 10 minutes. Oh, my rice is turn that down on low and cover it until my rice is done. I actually added the water a little bit too soon. I should have just cooked it for about 10 minutes with the onion and all the seasoning in there. And it about 10 minutes before I added the water, but it'll be good anyway. I can mix it up this way so everything is mixed up in there good. But we're going to have to cook this now for about 30 minutes. Bring it to a boil and cook it for about 30 minutes. Meantime, I'm going to see if I can rinse off some of these dishes. Get them out of my way. I have to do the cleanup since the maid is out. Now, while we're doing this, starting to boil. I'll wait till they start boiling and then I'll set the timer. Oh, I got me some water here. Woo! I think part of my water boiled out. I'm gonna have to put some more water in there. There, because I wasn't paying attention to my pot. Bring it to a good boil again, and then I'll turn it back down. Because I want my rice to cook, y'all. I definitely want my rice to cook. Okay, that's starting to boil, so I'll turn my pot down to basically a simmer for my rice. Put the lid on it because it's starting to boil. Set the timer for 30 minutes. And in the meantime, we're going to start making our gravy. I'm going to put about a 1/4 cup of olive oil. You can use butter if you want. Get that hot. Jumping my gun, I'm starting my gravy too soon. I've got to let this cook a little bit because I'm going to need a cup of the water from my neck bones to go in my gravy. I forgot about that. So, but I'm going to let this boil for about 30 minutes and then we'll come back. Well, y'all, it's been 30 minutes. First thing I'm going to do is reduce this heat a little bit. And I'm going to take my glass measuring cup and I'm going to reserve, if I can get it down in here, about a cup full of this liquid in this pot. If I can get some of these neck bones out of the way. I'll have to put it in this other one to get a cup full. because you're going to need that liquid to go in your gravy that we're getting ready to make. Ugh, I just spilled that all over the stove, and I don't want it to burn when I get this burner on, so I'm going to wipe it up right quick. It's easier to clean it up now than it is to let it burn. So, now what I'm going to do is make our gravy. This is when we're going to turn on our pan. I've got about a 1/4 cup of olive oil in there. I'm going to get that hot. Maybe a little bit more olive oil. That's about a 1/4 cup, I think. That hot. I'm going to sprinkle in about a 1/4 cup of flour as soon as I know that's hot. It's not quite hot yet. Guess you can see what I'm doing. Everybody always wants to watch the pots and the pans when I'm cooking, so. It's starting to get hot. I'm just going to sprinkle in about a 1/4 cup of flour. And we're just going to brown the flour in this olive oil. browning nicely. Now I'm going to add this pot of reserve liquid that I got out of the pot of the neck bones. Turn that down just a tiny bit. Turn that off. And I've just reduced the heat, turned the heat off. And what I'm doing now is making sure all of the browned flour is not sticking to the bottom of the pan. And then I'm going to add it right into my pot of neck bones. Also, I'm going to add my onion mushroom soup, 1 package of it. Now at this point, if you can eat mushrooms, if you like the mushrooms, you can add about half a cup to a whole cup of mushrooms if you'd like. I opted for the onion mushroom soup instead because I like mushrooms, but they don't like me. I can't eat very many of them, but I think I can handle this mushroom soup will be all right. And just kind of mix this all up. Get everything coated well. We got all our ingredients in there. We got our onions, our gravy. At this point, mushrooms if you want mushrooms. Your garlic, all your seasoning, salt and pepper, that type of thing. And I am going to taste it for seasoning. Oh my gosh, that is so good. Now we're going to put the lid back on it. And we're going to cook it for another 20 minutes. Anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. So we're going to let it cook another 30 minutes. I'm going to set my timer. And we'll come back. Well, it's been 30 minutes, y'all, so I think my neck bones are done. I'm going to turn my pot off. And I'm going to fix me a little bit of cornbread. I'm going to fix an easy, quick cornbread. I'm itching. I've got about a 1/4 cup of cornmeal and a 1/4 cup of flour. I'm going to season it with just a little bit of onion powder and garlic powder. Now you don't have to put that on yours if you don't want it. That's a personal choice. And over here, I heated up some greens and it kind of made a mess in my plate. I don't like that, the way it looks. So we're going to do that number and just clean it up a little bit. But I got my greens. And I'm getting ready to fix my cornbread. I'm going to go ahead and turn my burner on. I just felt like a little bit of cornbread. Not much, because it's just me. And this will be more than I'll eat anyway, but... And you know me, I always put a tiny bit of sugar in my cornbread. That's just personal choice. A lot of times I grate up an onion and put in my cornbread. I love onion in my cornbread. But I'm not going to go to that extreme right now. I'm going to put 1 egg in here. Get my dishcloth out of here so I have something to wipe my hands on. I mean, I try to save money rather than pull a paper towel down every time I want to wipe my hand. I use my dishcloth. I mean, because my hands go in the dishwater anyway. I forgot to get my milk. And I have some evaporated milk here that I got open, so I'm going to use that. It's not going to take much because I've got this egg in here and I don't really have that much flour and cornmeal. Probably about 1/4 cup of the milk. And that's going to do it. And I always like to clean the top of my can before I put it back in the refrigerator because I don't like it to get all ooky at the top because that milk will dry and then it looks bad. I am going to put just a tiny bit of water. And like I said, a lot of times I don't measure stuff. I just guess at it because I know how I cook for myself. Just put that right in my hot pan. Got something biting on me. I need my lid. Don't know if I got a lid that'll fit that. It might go to the other one. Woo. No, it's not big enough for that, so I'll just leave it like it is. But this is another one of those deep south meals. I don't want that too high. But it doesn't take long to cook a little cake of cornbread like this. Doesn't take long at all. But I tell you what, those neck bones are looking good. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Ooh. They are looking good. They are looking good. I'm gonna get some of these smaller pieces out of here, put them in my plate. Get some of this rice. And I drop rice. It's not going to look pretty, I'll tell you, because I dropped everything. Something to get some gravy out of here. Now mind you, you know, you can thicken it up even more if you want, but that's plenty thick enough for me. Let's get our cornbread going here. It's not quite cooked enough. You know, the secret to cooking cornbread like this is let it get kind of dry looking on the top. When it does that, after it's bubbled a little bit, that's when it's time to flip it. And it's not quite dry on the top yet. But look at this, y'all. Neck bones, rice, gravy, and greens. And I'm getting ready right now to get my cornbread. Yeah, I haven't eaten a meal like this in a long time, not the Deep South. And they do this in Appalachia too, up in the Appalachian Mountains, you know, which is not too far from where I'm from. They cook this type of neck bone too. How's that for a flip? Look at there at my cornbread. I just felt like hot cornbread with butter in it tonight to go with my meal. Can't beat it. Get this out of the way. See how my bread is browning. It's looking good. But look at that pot of neck bones and gravy. Don't that look good, y'all? And that pot of rice. I'm eating the last of my greens that I had cooked. So I'm going to have to go harvest me some more greens. I know how to do it like this. Now I'll just get me a knife and cut this. Whew. It's hot. Whoa, that's hot. And it's a thin piece of cornbread, but that doesn't matter. You can still slice it open and get you some butter in there. I have to get me another knife because that knife I used to cut my cornbread open is scalding hot. There I go. I got me some butter in that piece of cornbread. Look at there. How's that for dinner? Old-timey neck bones and gravy, rice with the gravy on it, greens, and cornbread, y'all. Can't beat it. Y'all try this recipe. I think you'll like it. And please like, share, and subscribe to my videos, and I'll see you on the next one. Love y'all. Bye now. Neck bones, gravy, rice, greens, and cornbread, y'all. Great deep south food. Comfort food. They cook this in deep Appalachian mountains too as well. Try it, you'll love it.